Cool theory. Now, everything God's doing is supernatural. It's so supernatural that even the people who hate God know it's God. And they're just being rebellious anyway. But they know it's Him. They're just siding with the wrong people. Okay? There's nothing that suggests God couldn't do it that way. It's very possible. Bullets might go right through us. But whatever God does, the Antichrist armies will not take Basra. It will not take Petra. Not going to happen. So, now we're going to shift over to Jerusalem. And this is where the Antichrist is going to stage his armies, and that much we know. And another thing I want to point out is that the Antichrist is going to attack from the west. What's west of Jerusalem?
Sand.
No. East of Jerusalem, there is sand. You don't know where Jerusalem is?
Okay, water.
Okay. Wait a minute. I have the same problem, I understand. Dyslexia sucks. So the west of Jerusalem is sand. But that's where he's going to attack from. This does not mean he's coming by boat. We know he's not coming by boat because, for crying out loud, he came from Babylon on the east side of the Euphrates River. Okay? He's not coming by boat. Some people actually think that because he's coming from the west. It's like, you guys are dumb. Okay. I really wish I'd had time to set everything up and get the screen going up here for you guys. I'm going to use... I don't want to use that. All right, I'm going to use this door over here. Stay there. Okay. We're going to call this corner Iraq or Babylon. This line is the Euphrates River. Okay. This over here is Jerusalem, Israel. Okay. This is going to dry up from blood. It's going to dry up. He's going to march his armies across over here, north of Jerusalem. Okay. To the far west side is the Jezreel Valley. If you follow that south, it goes to the Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Valley of Jehoshaphat leads to the west side. So he's going to stage in the northwest, come down to the west, move south to the west, and then his main assault is going to come from the west side. Okay? Daniel 11, verse 44 and 45. And it reads, "But rumors from the east and from the north will disturb him, and he will go forth with great wrath to destroy and annihilate many. He will pitch the tents of his royal pavilion between the seas and the beautiful holy mountain. Yet will he come to his end, and no one will help him." So, between the sea and the holy mountain Zion, Zion's Israel. So he's going to be in between them. Which is why he's going to come, Jezreel Valley, move south to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and attack from the Valley of Jehoshaphat. If that wasn't enough, in Joel 3, verses 9 through 12. "Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare a war. Rouse the mighty men. Let all the soldiers draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am a mighty man. Hasten and come, all you surrounding nations, and gather yourselves there. Bring down, O Lord, your mighty ones. Let the nations be aroused and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I will sit and judge all surrounding nations." It's a call to arms. Out of Joel, which I found really weird to find it there. But, everything just kind of fits together. And you gotta love when a battle plan comes together. I mean, God's basically saying, this is what's going to happen. You're a sucker. You think you're hot stuff, and you're going to do exactly what I'm going to say you're going to do. And then I'm going to let you read it for 2,000 years, and you're still going to do it, even though you know every word of it. The sucker. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like God's going to be like, Satan, go do this, and he has to do it. I don't know how it's going to work. Like in my head, it's like, if you put this to your head and pull the trigger, you're going to die. Now put it to your head and pull the trigger. It's like, I'd say no. And he's like, oh, dummy. I'm sorry. He's dumb. He has to be. That's the thing. God works in the supernatural. He will say, do this, and he has to do it. I mean, honestly, it's the only way I can see, because Satan knows what the Scripture says. He knows the Word of God. He knows what it says. And it's like he knows he's going to lose anyway. I mean, he's the father of lies. So either he believes his own lies, which is possible. It's possible. But somehow I think it's, well, you know what? Satan's first sin was pride. Arrogance goes hand in hand with pride. It's almost the same thing, but very different. Yeah.
Just a little variation.
Yeah, which totally changes it, but it's still, yeah. I don't know. I cannot wait to get my glorified body and mind so I can understand some of these things. It's like, I don't get it. You were made chiefest among angels. That includes the archangels. You were the chief. How? You knew what would happen, and you did it anyway. Is your pride really that vain? I see vanity all the time, y'all. Oh, golly. I see women who would be beautiful, except their vanity gets in the way. 5 pounds of makeup, and they have like all this thing of the world, Gucci and all that crap. I'm like, they don't look good. Put on a pair of tight jeans, and a shirt that covers everything, and you're good to go. Boy, on a different note, did I tell you guys about the bikini thing? Okay. I'm going to sidetrack this because this fascinated me. Scientists have the ability to analyze synaptic responses. Okay? This is the electromagnetic stuff that fires off whenever you have a thought. Okay? Now, whenever a man thinks of a hammer, this little spot over here fires off. Okay? When he thinks of really good food, it's over here, fires off. These different portions of the brain are stimulated whenever they look at certain things. It's what they're not thinking about. Okay? When a man sees a woman in a bikini, the area that fires off when he thinks of a hammer or a drill is the same area that fires off when he sees a woman in a bikini. Yeah, think about that for a second. When he looks at a hammer, looks at a half-naked woman, the same response happens in his brain. He sees a half-naked woman as a hammer or a tool. Something to satisfy him. Something he can possess, own, buy. But the area when he sees an attractive woman who is fully clothed fires off an entirely different, it fires on the totally opposite hemisphere of his brain. The area that thinks of relationship, commitment, fidelity, curiosity, because she's not giving it all away. And it makes the man's brain start thinking like, oh, she's really pretty. I want to get to know her. I want to spend time with her. And the second she puts a bikini on, hammer.
Well, it makes sense, hammer, nail it.
True. Anyway, I found that fascinating. And that was done by a woman who, not a feminist, but she was making an appeal to try to go back to she made more modern and retro style bathing suits. They were bathing suits, not bikinis. They were one piece, but they were elegant. And yes, she was a designer, but there was a purpose behind her design. It wasn't just, I want to find something and find a way to sell it. Even she was very, very modestly dressed. A gown that went thick strapped shoulders, showed us a little bit of neckline, but no cleavage, went all the way down to her ankles. And she was beautiful. And it just astounds me that I don't understand how the whole world does not know this. How is this not relevant? But again, we already have the answer to that. Because in those days, that which is good will be called evil, that which is evil will be called good. Can't help it. Okay, back to Revelation. Or actually, tribulation. Because we're not in Revelation anymore. Okay, I read Joel. Okay, now we're going to move on to the attack of Jerusalem. So, we have our AC's armies up here, move down over here, going to attack from the west. That's how it's going to happen. So, I'm going to read to you, and this is going to be lengthy. It's Isaiah 29, verses 1 through 7. And 1 through 7 reads about the length of 20 or 30 verses. Here we go. Woe, O Ariel! Ariel, the city where David once camped. Add year to year. Observe your feasts on schedule, and bring distress to Ariel. And she will be a city of lamenting and mourning, and she will be like Ariel to me. I will camp against you, encircling you. I will camp against you, encircling you, and I will set siege works against you, and I will raise up battle towers against you. What does that sound like to you? That sound like something that happens today? Doesn't sound like it. Do we have siege works in existence still? No. We have rockets that blow up your walls. We don't need siege works. Siege works were those giant, it's like the 4-story deals on wheels that they pushed up against them. The thing falls down, so they couldn't push it away, and they just ran up the stairs. It's a flight of stairs. It's a more portable flight of, like 4 flights of stairs. That's all it was. We don't have those anymore. We don't have any need for them. So the first initial thing in these 7 verses here is this is not future. This is past. Let's keep going. Then you will be brought low. From the earth you will speak, and from the dust where you are prostrate your words will come. Okay, prostrate is to be flat. When you're asleep, you're prostrate, unless you're one of those really weird folks that can sleep standing up. I can't do it. I've almost fallen over trying. It's actually kind of funny, so it scared the crap out of me. That feeling whenever you're falling, you got to brace yourself, except when it's real, yeah, it's actually really scary. So, but it says, you will be brought low. You can't get much lower than your face in the dirt. Okay? Your words will come. Your voice will also be like that of a spirit from the ground. And your speech will whisper from the dust. So, I want to see this picture in your head. You got siege works and all this other stuff. We're in Jerusalem now. You have the armies of the Antichrist. You have a world just decimated. And I imagine when he shows up with his army, it's not going to be 400 troops. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. And you are going to be in what here in Texas we call dire straits. Desperate. Ready to do anything. They're going to be face down in the dirt, literally, begging God to come and save them. Because when you've hit your knees and you got no place else to go, everyone turns to God. And these people are way past their knees. They are face down in the dirt where they're whispering under their breath. And their words are coming through the dust all around their face. This is as desperate as you can be. But the multitude of your enemies will become like fine dust, and the multitude of the ruthless ones like the chaff which blows away. And it will happen instantly, suddenly. From the Lord of hosts, you will be punished, and with thunder and earthquake and loud noise, with whirlwind, the tempest, and the flame of a consuming fire, and the multitude of all the nations who wage war against Ariel, even all who wage war against her and her stronghold, and who distress her, will be like a dream, a vision in the night. I'll repeat this one little spot. And the multitudes of all the nations who wage war against her. I dare you to show me one verse in the Bible outside of prophecy. Let me rephrase that. I dare you to show me any account in history where Israel was assaulted by multiple nations. I've already listed those who came against her and took her. There were 7 of them, remember? 2 chapters ago in verse 17. 3 that were, 1 that is, and 1 that is to come for a short time. Okay? There are some who have come against her and taken her, but not all of them. This is many. Assyria, Rome, Babylon are single nations that came against her. Not all of them in existence. That's how we know this is not a past event. This is a future event. This is what is to come when all the nations rise against her. And then, like a dream, like dust, you throw dust in the air and it just scatters. Fine dust. It's just fine dust. You blow it out of your hand. You know? I love the symbology. I want to read it again. And the multitude of all the nations who wage war against Ariel, even all who wage war against her and her stronghold.